Hey there, Crave here. So this is just a continuation of some of the video impressions I'm doing for different games, and this one will feature a pretty old game which is really fun. Now Warframes have been around and you might have seen some short clips of it in my other uploads. It's a free-to-play third-person shooter style game using the Evolution engine, so it has a mix of range and melee style combat and involves solo, co-op, and PvP play. Now, it's a really good looking game from my experience so far and has a very optimized engine, seeing my frame rates on average shoot up so high. In the game, you play a Tenno, which is part of a faction of a warrior race from centuries ago, just basing it on the game's timeline. You start off from cryosleep, just like other player-controlled Tennos. The introduction, it's pretty much just your own story, has you try to escape the Grenier faction, who's basically out to control you. You start to learn more about your powers, and just enough to get by, and eventually learn about the weapons you can use. At the start of the game and its current update, which I believe is update 17, you have a choice of armor you can use, which is called a Warframe, hence the title of the game. Now you can choose the Excalibur Warframe, which sort of seems like a well-balanced frame and excels at swordplay. So for this suit of armor or this Warframe, the initial ability you have is Slash Dash, which are a series of quick strikes at multiple opponents in front of the Tenno. Now, the next frame you can choose is Mag, which is the female-looking frame. So the suit focuses on magnetic forces, and her first ability, Pull, is quite useful as a control ability and an AoE damaging skill. Now, all targets within the Tenno's range is pulled towards her and take damage. Now, the last option is the Volt frame, which has the ability to manipulate electrical energy. So the armor seems less bulky compared to Excalibur, and is the frame of choice I went with. The first ability you get with this frame is that, what's this? Oh yeah, it's Shock, which is an AoE electrical damage ability with a short stun effect. I initially went with the Excalibur frame before picking Bolt. Unfortunately, to switch your main early requires registering another account. In the long term though, it is possible to build other Warframes as you level up, get blueprints, and acquire resources. There is group play in Warframe, and as I mentioned, if you expect to join certain groups, you may consider building certain frames for taking on heavy damage, better damage dealing potential, depending on the situation, better support capabilities, etc. Now, that's all important when you start getting into group play. When you're just starting out, it won't matter which frame you go for. Now, after picking your frame, the tutorial allows you to equip the 4 or 3 weapons you'll be using throughout the game. But these are just the basic ones, so you get 2 ranged weapons and 1 melee weapon. It won't really matter which weapons you choose in the introductory part, as you are encouraged to eventually get or craft new ones. One thing to note though, weapon-generated noise affects stealth gameplay, so choosing between a rifle and a bow, well, sort of becomes somewhat an important decision, but does not impede your early leveling. Stealth play is important not only to avoid combat in certain situations, but some stealth attacks normally insta-kill weaker enemies. Also in the tutorial, you're quickly taken aboard your ship early on, which serves as a station for you to craft your items, access the cash shop, missions, modification screen, and all these other things. Now, part of the early tutorial also involves setting up these different areas of your ship so that you can use them to enhance your warframe and weapons, as well as change the look of your frame and its loadout. Now, another interesting area to check out as you progress in the early levels are the relays, which is they basically serve as hubs for you to see other Tennos. Now, I've only seen one relay, and while it isn't all that huge, it really is well designed, and it's pretty cool to see other players and the different looks and warframes they're using. Now, some interactive NPCs are locked off until you increase your ranks, but it's in these relays where you'll find traders and a mission control area, which is similar to the one you have on your ship. Now, of course, you can chill in these relays or your ship, but the fun part is always being in the middle of the action. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the gameplay is a mixture of melee and ranged styles, but for the most part, how you build your frame or how you equip your frame is up to you. But as you progress, you'll also eventually have to consider the mission requirements, whether you have to equip yourself with certain types of damage dealing mods, your role in group play, and the nature of your enemies on which gameplay you should get into. If you're pretty much a solo player or a casual, then most setups will work, but as you progress into higher levels, then it may become a little bit more difficult if you're just sticking to one playstyle or a specific set of mods. Oh, and before I forget, there is another type of gameplay available in Warframe, and those are the Arcwing missions. Now, it's one of those really fun aspects of the game. I mean, the standard missions in Warframe, in your Warframe suit, are pretty much fun by themselves, but the space combat in your upgraded suit just basically enhances the experience. So, just like your other gear, the parts you need for the Arcwing suit add-on have to be crafted. Now, what's also nice is that you also have a quest. It's not as long as you might think of, but yeah, you do have a quest to go about obtaining the blueprints for what you have to craft. Now, the mechanics of the missions are pretty much just like your standard in-ship or land missions, but this added variety of combat types is very much appreciated. Now, movement is a very important aspect of the game, and I have to admit the parkour type style is well implemented. I mean, the shooter aspect is there, but as you learn in the advanced movement tutorial from your ship, there are many different possibilities you can weave in and out of enemy range while in combat. Now, you can take advantage of platforms so that melee mobs won't get to you. You can quickly charge up to a group of enemies if you're the type who likes to get up close and personal. You can run sideways on walls or torpedo up to higher areas which wouldn't normally be accessible. Now, the last thing I wanted to show you guys is the one social aspect of the game, which is the clans, the concept of clans and clan dojos. So it's basically just guilds and guild housing. Now, while I've seen other MMOs, and maybe not a whole lot, but from what I've seen in Warframe, it's pretty amazing that the game allows you to construct structures of this scale. Now, most of the game is actually very instanced. You have your instance for your ship, your instance for your relay, instance for the different missions. And while those things are pretty separated, and it doesn't have that open world feel, the clan dojo, or the guild housing, is pretty amazing in that it allows you to customize your guild place, the place for your clan, a place for your group to just gather and have your own housing. And it's pretty amazing the way you can customize it, as you're seeing right now. I was lucky enough to be given a tour on one of the clan dojos by one of the clan magister, and I really appreciated what this person did for me. It's really jaw-dropping to see how you are able to customize the look of your dojo in different tiers and have specific sections that can basically make it convenient for members to interact with different parts of the game and all those things. Yeah, so aside from the amazing combat in the game, the number of quests that you can go through to progress your character in the game, you also have this amazing social aspect of the game, which is the clan dojo. And I'm really impressed by the game and surprised that I never really got to play this game before. These could be late additions. I understand the Arcwing missions were also late additions into Warframe. PvP was also a late addition into Warframe. Yeah, but it's really nice. I guess it's nice for me. It's nice for me that now I'm getting to learn about the game, and I've been into it for about 3 or 4 weeks, and it's pretty amazing that I learned about it now. I guess with all these additions already, me being able to consume them and to experience them, it's great so far. So yeah, I just wanted to share that clan dojo experience I had, and really I was so amazed about what this clan was able to do with the funding they had and the structures they were able to build. And I guess that's pretty much it for this overview and impressions for the Warframe game on update 17. Now, I can't remember the exact version number for Warframe right now, but yeah, it's 17 something. Now, so far, I've had a really good time with the game. I know it's only been 3 or 4 weeks into it, but yeah, it's been so much fun that even if I don't log in on a daily basis, mainly because I also play other games like Fallout 4, and other games during beta weekends, it's really been fun. I can't believe, like I mentioned earlier, I didn't learn about this game earlier. It's really a very slick game. The animations are pretty nice. It's a very optimized engine. I'm guessing it won't require too heavy a PC if you want to play on it. It's also available on consoles like PS4 and Xbox, I believe. At least I can confirm PS4. But it wouldn't be surprising if Xbox also had. You could also play this on Xbox, and yeah, it's been a very, very fun experience so far. So I hope you give it a shot. If you're on Steam, if you have Steam, you basically just get it from there. And I'm not sure where you get it from, PS4 or Xbox. I have to check on my PS4, but yeah, I'm sure. I'm guessing it's just a simple market search. But yeah, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little video I have for Warframe. And if you are interested, do check the game out. Talk to you soon.